If you aren't getting the results that you want from physical rehabilitation and exercise and helping your pain go away, then you have to get better at actually doing the rehab. And in this video, I will explain exactly how to do that. Hi, my name is Dmitry Tupakov, and I'm a chiropractic doctor, and I specialize in physical rehab and exercise to literally erase these problems from people's lives. I live pain-free myself, and I have helped thousands of people do this. And if you're interested, go to the description, watch the testimonials of people I have helped, even with problems that they've had for years, decades, and sometimes to the point where they were disabled from it. Now, rehabilitation and exercise is a skill, and any skill you can learn and you can improve and get better at. And as you get better at it, you will get better results. And there were 4 mistakes that I personally made that when I corrected these mistakes, the results changed from me feeling better from exercises to my pain and problems completely going away and not coming back. So if this interests you, then stick around because I'm going to share exactly what those mistakes were and how to correct them. So, mistake number 1, you want to feel less pain, not more, when you're doing your exercises. So let's look at what the function of pain is in our body. The reason that we feel pain is for one reason. It's so we don't touch the hot stove. We don't fall on concrete. It's so we don't damage our body. It has no other function than that. And through pain, it tries to tell us to not do things. The best example I can give of the reason why we feel pain is to take people that are born with a medical condition where they physically cannot feel pain. It's called anhidrosis or congenital insensitivity to pain. If you want to look up any pictures, just be wary that they're very disturbing at times because your body gets deformed generally if you have this condition. And what happens is, since people don't feel pain with these medical conditions, kids, what they do is they can chew up their lips, they can chew up their gums, their teeth get deformed because they bite too hard, they can break bones, not even know about them, they use too much pressure with their hands or step too hard with their feet, their joints get deformed, their bones break. And sometimes they die very young because they just run their body into the ground. Or the reason we feel pain is so that does not happen to us. And every time we end up with an activity, sport, or work, if we feel a good amount of pain or a lot of pain and we push through it, we are pushing our body to that condition of damage and injury. I understand that sometimes life isn't perfect and these are things that we have to go through, but the topic of pain, I'm just going to discuss about how to get better results with physical rehabilitation, but how pain to deal with it in your daily life, that's a separate topic. So since pain is injury and nothing else, we want to minimize the amount of pain we feel when we do our rehab, but we want to feel some pain because we want to feel the pain where we have the issue. Now, the feeling that actually makes our muscles grow is having the muscles feel really tired or fatigued after we push them to the point where we have difficulty lifting the weight or pulling the band because the muscle is so tired. Once we get to that point, then our body will start to build new muscle. So you want to minimize the pain to minimize the injury and damage and maximize the feeling of fatigue or tiredness to maximize the amount of muscle tissue that grows. And the better you get at it, you will start to separate the feeling of pain from the feeling of the muscle getting really tired. And if you want to push yourself, don't push yourself in pain, push yourself to get really tired, and that'll get you phenomenal results. Now, the second mistake that I made is how quickly I would do the movements with exercise. You want to slow down and do everything very slow, methodical, and careful, and give time for the muscles to work out. And the slower you go, the less chance you have of injuring yourself. And generally, go so slow that it annoys you that you're doing it that slow, and you're probably doing it at a good pace. One other thing that I notice very commonly is when people do the movement, they end up speeding up towards the end, and then on their release, they release really quickly. So our muscles work under a certain amount of stress as they get shorter, and our muscles even have more stress when they get longer. So if I do a bicep curl, I have a certain amount of stress as the muscle gets shorter, but then I have to control the movement down. And as the muscle gets longer under stress, it actually works the muscle a lot more. So any exercise that you do, the movement on their return, you want to especially go much slower, and that'll give you much better results in getting the muscle to get really, really tired or fatigued. Now, the third mistake is rest. You want to give your body the correct amount of time to rest in between your exercises. And that rest time is generally 3 days. So after we push our muscle to get extremely tired, our body for 3 days will start to build new muscle, tendon, and ligament cells. This is when you get well. When you do nothing, but your body does the main work of laying down new tissue. So your job at that point is to not get in the way of your body doing this main work. You can get one muscle tired in like 5 to 10 minutes, and then for 3 days, your body builds new muscle. So the main thing is you want to not do anything else to re-injure it or re-aggravate it during that time, and that'll give you much better results. Now, the fourth mistake that I made is doing very broad motions for smaller areas of pain. This is the hardest part to conceptualize and understand, and this is generally the toughest part I have explaining to patients. But think of it this way. Our body heals very specifically. So if I get a cut on my skin, the cut will heal the size, or the skin will heal the size of the cut and nothing more. And if I prick my skin with a needle, my skin will heal the size of the needle and nothing more. So if I have a small area of pain that hurts, then I want to do a very small, specific movement, focusing on working exactly there. Because the reason this area hurts and this area doesn't is because this area is significantly weaker and it gets damaged much easier. So we feel pain much easier. So there isn't any symmetry of doing this. First, you have to get this as strong as that before you can do these general exercises and say maybe like exercise for balance. So the smaller area of pain, then the more focused the movement that you want to do. The process of how I think through this is basically you're going to, let's say I'm working my shoulder, I'm going to move my shoulder to the point where I just start to feel the pain, and I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to back off slowly till the pain goes away, and then when it goes away, I'm going to stop. So then this movement where I feel like I'm working the area where I have the problem becomes the most effective exercise to target that specific area and cause the most amount of new muscle cells to grow there. If I do all this extra, I'm basically working most of the time on healthy muscles and very little time on the area that's injured. And this is why general exercises don't help with specific problems. If you have a car and there's a sensor that's bad on the left front tire for the air pressure, you're not going to go change the timing belt. You're not going to change the oil. You're going to go and you're just going to fix that tiny little problem and not do anything else. And if there's another specific problem in the car, you're going to go fix that and not that other thing. So specific problems require specific solutions, and rehab tends to be very specific and detailed work. Now, if you can correct these mistakes, you will see a massive and drastic improvement in the results that you get. And again, for me, this went from me just feeling better to literally me living pain-free. And I work and I teach these lessons to people every single day because I know how much this can change somebody's life. If what I'm sharing is interesting and you want to learn more, scroll down to the description, go to my website, and you can access all my lessons about what is pain, how it happens, what to do about it, 100% for free. If you need immediate pain relief, within 5 minutes, you can make your pain 10 to 30% better of just doing a proper stretch. And if you want to work with me one-on-one to help me resolve your pain, go ahead and reach out and I'll see what I can do for you. Other than that, see you next time.